Hi everyone, Jeffrey K. Howard, Vegas Film Critic here. We're going to talk about a Netflix series called Making of a Murderer. It's a story of Stephen Avery, who served 18 years in a Wisconsin prison for sexual assault, only to find out 18 years later that he was innocent, that it was so botched and just the investigation was so mishandled that he spent a good 20 years almost in jail for a crime he didn't commit. They did DNA testing, which, you know, a lot of criminals now that have accused of all these crimes are now being freed because of the forensic evidence. You know, 10, 20 years later, they're doing all these new tests with DNA to find out, hey, they weren't even there, they don't even match. And so he is one of those examples where, I forget what the name of that is, the something project. Well, there's all these organizations out there that help inmates that proclaim their innocence and get new trials and everything. So Stephen Avery was one of them. So it was in 2005 he was released, and then in 2010, I want to make sure I got this right date. I'm cheating over here. No, I'm sorry. Was it 2003? Oh my gosh, Jeff, get your facts right. It's called The Innocence Project, and I got my dates wrong. So in 2003, he was released after 18 years of being wrongfully accused. And then in 2005, he was arrested again, this time for murder. And this is fascinating television. It really is. It's a 10-part miniseries on Netflix. And I'm telling you, I heard so much about it over the holidays, and I binge watched it. I couldn't help it. This is the very first episode. Every episode leaves you with kind of a cliffhanger, and it's not done intentionally. It's just that there's always new evidence or something that just keeps popping up that you can't believe is going on with this poor guy. So he has a junkyard, an auto wrecking yard with his family, and Stephen Avery is accused of murder. And the show unfolds every episode about accusations and the trial, and just showing how this guy got loose after 18 years and made the whole small town he's from to look like idiots, and you just think there's revenge on part of the cops. I mean, things were so mishandled, from all the different investigations to not bringing the feds in, the mishandling of evidence. Things appear where they weren't before, you know, in criminal evidence photos. There's so much going on here that it's just like, you can't believe that expression, truth is stranger than fiction. It really is. And it even gets even more complicated when they bring in Brendan Dassey, who's his nephew. This kid was railroaded. This kid was pulled out of his high school. He's interrogated by the police to the point where they keep saying, they don't ask him questions, but they keep saying statements, you know, like, you did do this, right? You did do this, right? Why? And it's a tactic where they automatically say something and ask you, like, you don't have to confess to it. So like, so you took my Pepsi, right? So when you took my Pepsi, why did you take my Pepsi? Why did you? No, they're already assuming, instead of asking him questions, and the kid just like shuts down because he's never been in trouble before. And this kid is also serving all kinds of time right now, and so is Stephen Avery. You're watching this now, a documentary that's made over 10 years, and you get so much of the facts. I encourage you, if you watch the show, which you should, it's incredible, you need to go online and see what the other side is too, because also the district attorney and all these people from this town are saying, look, they've left out a lot of stuff, important information out of that documentary, out of that miniseries, that we feel is very pertinent to the case, that makes our case that Stephen Avery is guilty of murder, and also his nephew is guilty of being accomplice. So if you really want to see the trial of the century so far, this incredible murder trial, and you know, you're playing Monday morning quarterback, you know, you're sitting here passing judgment, you almost feel like you're part of the jury, you're watching this, you're listening to evidence. I have a ton of questions. There's even a website to free Stephen Avery and his nephew, to contribute to his legal fund. So there's all kinds of people taking action because of this. There's all kinds of social change going on right now because of the Stephen Avery case, and all because of Netflix. Netflix is really doing a great job. Maybe not so good of giving us some better movies to choose from, or even some newer titles, but they're really coming through with this original programming. And that's why I have HBO, and that's why I have Netflix, and even have Hulu and Amazon, you know, Transparent and all these other shows on Amazon.com. I love the original programming. Not so much watching, you know, a Schwarzenegger film for the 50th time, but the original programming is what Netflix and all of these online companies are really trying to do to make their face noticed. And it's really, this is a good one. Making of a Murderer. I mean, I'm telling you, I watched it a couple weeks ago, and I couldn't stop because I kept reading so much about it. One episode, it sucked you in. So I'm warning you, you know, make sure you have a good 10 or 12 hours if you can do that, because I couldn't stop. Making of a Murderer on Netflix. Absolutely stunning, stunning television. All right, for more reviews and interviews, surf on over to my website at vegasfilmcritic.com. Check out my podcast on iTunes. And if you like what you see, I know you do, give me a thumbs up, comment below, and please subscribe. I'm Jeffrey K. Howard. I'll see you next time.